Welcome to another episode of King's World. Okay, so we've done interviews, we've stirred up some controversy, we did some drama, we've had some fun, and I've gotten a lot of feedback from you guys, and I want more. Keep sending me all those Instagram messages and all those Facebook messages and all that social media stuff. So this is something that I wanted to discuss because it seems to come up a lot. And it's something that gets under my skin once in a while, but then, I have to go with the changing of the times, okay? Things are not the way it used to be, the way that I remember it. So I have to adapt and go on. So what am I talking about? This week, we're going to discuss the Elusive Pro Card. Everybody wants that Pro Card. Pro Card. Every time you talk to somebody, it's Pro Card this, Pro Card that. Okay. I'm going to explain why it pisses me off. At the same time, I respect the factor and I got to help out. That's why I'm a coach and I like to help people out. But there's steps. There's a journey that's got to be taken to get to that Elusive Pro Card, and it doesn't come overnight. A lot of you kids out there are living your Mr. Olympia fantasies, and that's exactly what it is. Fantasies. You're not going to get there. It's not going to happen. But I'm not saying it's a bad thing to have aspirations and dreams, but to a certain extent, you have to come to terms with reality too. So that's what we're going to discuss this time. How to get that Elusive Pro Card. Here we go. Step one to the Elusive Pro Card. You got to build a strong base. When you start out, when you're just beginning and getting into the sport, you have to build that strong base. Lots of heavy movements, powerlifting, anything you can to get that muscular strong base and that foundation set. Okay? You have to also be realistic with your weak points. Be honest with yourself. Look at yourself. Go to people, not just your friends. Go to other people, people with good eyes for the sport and good eyes for the whole bodybuilding criteria, and ask them, what do I need to work on? What's good? What's bad? And you take that and you start building. If you need more legs, work your legs a little bit more. If you need more arms, work your arms a little bit more. Build that foundation. Put it all together. Find a good coach. Okay, there's a good and there's a bad with that. I'll tell you the good. Obviously, you get someone with knowledge. It'll tell you what to do, what not to do, what to eat, what not to eat, what supplements are good. Someone who's been there, because you can't replace experience. You can't put a dollar amount on experience. Experience is absolutely everything in this sport, in any sport. But the bad thing is kids with not those superior genetics or the potential get to a coach, and the coach kind of advances their progression really, really fast. And then they get this false sense of, I am somebody that I'm really not. You really got to be careful with that. We had to pay our dues. People don't pay their dues anymore. I wish I had a King Kamali, a Milo Sarchev, or a Chad Nichols when I was a kid. I didn't. I didn't have the internet. I didn't have Google. I didn't have this. I don't have online coaches. We had Flex magazine. That's what we had. We read Flex magazine. We're like, okay, maybe I should take some amino acids. Maybe I should take some branch chains. Maybe I should drink some whey protein. We didn't know. It was experimentation and me looking at other meatheads in the gym and finding out what works and what doesn't. You guys have it real easy these days. Really easy these days. And that could be a good thing and it could be a bad thing at the same time. Use your head, be real with yourself, and get yourself a good coach. Step two, pick a show. It's got to be a small show. Don't pick yourself some big show that everybody's going to come and try to qualify for the nationals or this or no. Pick yourself a smaller show and go test yourself. You got to get up there. You got to shave your body, get in some trunks and get up there under those lights, because you can't hide on stage. You can't hide your weak points. You can't hide anything up there. Your insecurities, your shyness, whatever the hell is wrong with you, it's going to come out it's just going to pop out on stage, whether you like it or not. Get your ass on stage, get the pictures, be real with yourself. Evaluate the pictures. Look at them. This is what's wrong. This is good. This is bad. It doesn't matter where you place at your first show. It matters that you got up there and you got feedback from pictures and from people in the audience and the judges who are going to tell you the truth. Get on stage, see where your potential is. Step 3, get on stage again, okay? You can't just do one show. And you know, how many people do you know do this? They do one show, and then they turn around and say, I'm a coach. I did a show. I'm a pro. I'm going to be a pro. No, shut up. That's not how it works, okay? Get your ass back on stage again. What you need to do is improve. It doesn't matter if you placed dead last at your first show. Get better for the next show. That is the whole point. More muscularity, better conditioning. Every time you step on stage, that's what you need to do. More muscularity, better conditioning. The posture, the swag, all that stuff, that's going to fall into place. The more you can do something, it's a repetitive thing. The more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. So get back on stage. Again, don't pick a hard show. Pick yourself a local, low-level show again. Test the waters again. Step 3, get back on stage. Now, step 4, win a show. Okay, again, these are little things that get under my skin. Don't just win your class, okay? Don't just sit there and win the novice, whatever division you're in. Win the overall. That should be your next goal, winning an overall. What you want to do is, if you want to continue this, if you're getting serious, if you want to approach and you got that pro card, that elusive pro card in your head, you can't just win your class and say, I'm going to go pro. No, you got to win that overall. Win the overall, and then from that point, what comes the next step? And the next step is a national level show. Step 5, nationals. Well, listen, it used to be the nationals or the USAs. Now, the junior nationals, there's Team USA, there's the Arnold Amateur. There's many different venues and routes you can go to get that pro card. But that's besides the point. We're just going to call it the national level. That's the next step. You have to go test yourself next to the best in the country. That's how you know where you really stand in the scale of things. Many, 90%, 95% of good bodybuilders, good state level bodybuilders or state champions go to the national level and they gone. They realize that it's a whole new world. They just cannot stand next to these guys. That is the progression. That is the facts. That's reality, folks. You have to go to that national level and compare yourself. I can't tell you how many people I know that are not ready. They come to me and they ask me, am I ready? I'm honest with them, and then, you know what? We have a falling out and I never speak to them again. Why? They go to nationals and they get their ass handed to them. That's how it works. Be real. Be honest. Test yourself at the nationals and go. Stand next to these guys and see, hey, you'll see the pictures. Pictures don't lie. You'll see the comparisons and then you'll understand. This guy from Minnesota, that guy from California, he's a league past me. I need to still work harder to get to that point. Get to the nationals and test yourself. Okay, step 6, crack the top 3. When you reach the national ranks, the national level shows, you have to crack the top 3. Listen to what I just said. Top 3. Not top 5, top 3. When you get that top 3 position, then you know you're in the mix and you're in the hunt. You know that you're the best, one of the best in the country, and that pro card is within reach. Many people have reached top 5 and have never gotten their pro card. It's not easy, folks. This journey is not easy. It's difficult. Every year changes. New difficulties come up. New problems happen, and things change. Get to that top 3, and then from that point, you put the blinders on, and you become a monk, and you go for it. That's what it takes. You got to have that tunnel vision. Top 3. So we discussed the steps to how to get to that pro card. Now I'm going to say a few things about getting that pro card. Okay. Folks, it's not what it used to be. Every time I say that, or somebody else from my era, I'm a Generation X. Anybody from Generation X says anything like this, the newer kids, you guys turn around and say, man, you guys always think you had it better, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you know why? Because we did. Okay, we did have it better. We were a lot. It was much, 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 much more difficult to get your pro card when I was coming up. Listen, folks, when I was coming up, okay, there were only a handful of pro cards handed out per year, okay? The overall USA champion, one person from the USA has got a pro card. The overall North American champion, one person got a pro card by winning the North Americans. And the Big Daddy, the show of all shows, the hardest show in the country, the United States NPC Nationals, class winners got their pro cards, which really didn't mean that much for the smaller guys because, to be honest with you, unless you were an absolute monster super freak like a Sean Ray in the light heavyweight division, you couldn't do shit in the pros anyway. So it was basically two people at the Nationals, the light heavyweight maybe, and the heavyweight winner who got their pro cards. That's it. We're talking less than 5 people a year were getting their pro cards. Now, it's like fucking Tic Tacs. They're handing out 70, 80 pro cards per competition. Listen, this is what drives me insane. When I got my pro card, when I won the heavyweights at the United States Nationals, I was already a star. People already knew what I was capable of because I was #1 in the country and I was one of the best about to go into the professional ranks. It was a foregone conclusion. That's how it was. Nowadays, unfortunately, you don't know who won the USA's the prior year. You don't know who won the national. They just get lost. It's not what it used to be. The superstars are not there. And here's the problem. It's a good thing for the sport. I understand what Jim Mannion's trying to do. I understand what they're trying, the whole NPC Federation. They want to expand the sport. They want to bring more people in. They want to make this a more mainstream type of event. Yes, I get it, and I understand that. But the quality of the competitors has gone down. Okay? The superstars, there are not that many superstars anymore. Thank God that the world has opened up and then to this sport. And then you got all these people coming in, like the Hadi Chupans or whoever else is coming from Europe or Germany. These guys, okay, are legitimate professional superstars that can come in and do damage. But 96, 97% of these people, women and men that are getting their pro cards, they're getting lost into the abyss. They get this pro card and they think that they're, oh my God, I'm a pro, I'm an IFBB pro now. No, you're not. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to break that fucking bubble that you're in right now. No, you're not. You're not a legitimate, in my mind, you're not a legitimate professional bodybuilder or a professional IFBB athlete. That's not how it works. Win the national class, win your class at the Nationals, win the overall at the USAs, win the overall at the North Americans, win the overall at the Team Universe, then I will consider you a professional. My opinion. Sorry, folks. That's reality. And then we got the exceptions. I mean, once in a blue moon, God creates something and it's a gift that he gives to the world. Flex Wheeler wins the USA overall, comes out, rookie year, crushes the pros. Kevin Ronnie, second in his first Mr. Olympia. I mean, these are Paul Dillette. These are people that are just, the gift is there and the exceptionalism is there. Okay? A lot of you who don't know, who like to hate and all that stuff, which is great. But I won the Nationals. I went and straight to my coach afterwards and he said, you're not ready. Chad, I'll remember his words. Chad Nichols, you're not ready. Take a year to 2 years off and come back. Put on that size. Get your conditioning even crazier and come back. And that's exactly what I did. What happened my rookie year? I crushed. Ironman, the third hardest show on this planet. I got third place. Should have got second. Qualified for the Olympia. Got my invitation 2 weeks later at the Arnold Classic. Fourth place. Should have been third. Beat Dexter Jackson. Beat Melvin Anthony. Beat a lot of superstars. My rookie year. This is what I'm talking about. It's not the same. Whether you like to argue, whether you like to come in and say you're, drama bullshit and this and that about how we always say it was this and we always say, no, I'm sorry, man, it's the reality. We had it It was much harder for us. That's why all the Hall of Famers come back from my time. Sorry, folks. That's the way it is. Okay, so we reached the 3 questions, which we ask every week. I got three good ones this week. First question coming to me. This comes from Mr. Stacked. Mr. Stacked asks, King, what is the greatest feat of strength you have ever seen with your own eyes? Great question. Okay, greatest feat of strength I've ever seen. I would say there was 3 of them. First one is when Ronnie Coleman came to guest pose at the Body Rock, which is the biggest show in Virginia. Steve McAdams, love you, brother. Just an absolute unbelievable show. I was taking Ronnie around. I was chaperoning him. I was, we went to restaurants. We hung out. We got a back workout in. And folks, I saw Ronnie with my own eyes in not off-season conditioning. He was, somewhat. He wasn't shredded, but he wasn't chubby either. He was right in the middle. I saw Ronnie do 20 pull-ups with my own eyes. Now, to the lay person, that might not sound too impressive with 20 pull-ups. When you have a man who's 320, 315 pounds with that much dense muscle, and dense muscle, folks, it's heavy, man. It's not like anything else you've ever felt. It's like dead weight. 20 pull-ups I saw the man do with my own eyes. The freaking pull-up bar was bending as he was doing it. That was one of the most impressive things I've ever seen. Second one, I was in North Carolina visiting cousins, and I went to Ric Flair's gym, Ric Flair's Gold's Gym in Charlotte, North Carolina. I saw the Road Warriors in there, Animal and Hawk, and again, with my eyes, I saw Animal curling 225 on the straight bar for reps. Folks, 225 for reps. Again, one of the most amazing things I'd ever fucking seen with my eyes. Feats of strength. And also, when I was in Iran doing my appearances about 5-6 years ago at my seminars, I saw the Iranian arm wrestler, Big E. What's his name again? Mehdi Abdullahi. I saw him. He's a world champion arm wrestler, and I saw him preacher curling, not full preacher curls, I'm going to be honest with you, but grabbing the 150s and curling it like this, coming up and down. I would like to see anybody grab the 150s on a preacher curl and bring it halfway down and do half reps. Not happening. Again, some of the most amazing feats of strength I've ever seen with my own eyes. Crazy. Question number 2, we have from Home Team 31. Home Team 31 asks, King, give us another one of your crazy IFBB stories. Come on, man. Come on, I told you I'm writing a book. You all are making me give away all the good stuff. But I will give you one. I will give you another one right now. Okay. All right. So I was guest posing. It always comes down to these crazy guest posing appearances. I was guest posing in Seattle at the Emerald Cup. Afterwards, group of guys there who I call the Seattle millionaires, young millionaires. Great guys, absolutely great guys. They know who they are. Love you guys, miss you guys. They took me out. We ended up at this amazing mansion on top of some hill, gated, security guards, bodyguards. It was insane. We ended up there, and I could tell you 15 different insane things that I saw that night, but I'm just going to focus on one. There was this young Asian kid there, nothing special. He was, pants and a shirt, and it didn't look like much, but he was getting a lot of attention. So I kind of went around to see, why is this little kid getting so much attention? Then I realized what the was happening. This kid and his family own one of the biggest shipping companies on this planet. They're not just billionaires. They were multi-billionaire, not million, B with the billionaires. And this crazy little kid had a stack of cash in an Adidas bag, and he was giving out $5,000 to each girl that could sit in a bucket of ice for 15 minutes. I mean, folks, this is the kind of shit that I would see almost every city that I went to, but this one took the cake. These poor girls in absolute agony sitting in buckets of ice for 15 minutes for $5,000 cash. Another one of my crazy IFBB stories. Okay, last question comes from Mona Lisa 99. Mona wants to know what's the best method of cardio for burning fat. Okay, again, a good question. I get this a lot. Cardio. Everybody wants to know about cardio. Listen, if you want to hit your glutes and hams, you got to do that treadmill on an incline, long strides, heel to toe, and squeeze. Every time you take a step, it's almost like pounding your feet on the platform as you walk. It's like a boom, boom. When you pound, you want to squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. That works your glutes and hams. You want to work your quads and your calves, step mill. Step mill is a son of a. It's hard, especially with someone like me. At my body weight, it's hard, but it hits the quads, it hits the hips, the hip flexors. It definitely hits the calves. Step mill again, excellent. And the bike, I like to do the bike when I finish legs. I don't necessarily like to walk. Honestly, I feel like I'm going to fall on my face. That's how pumped up my quads get. So I do the bike after I hit after I hit legs. Now, how long? Okay. Here's the formula that I was taught from the beginning, and I'm going to pass it down to you guys. The first 15 minutes, you're just warming up. Okay? First 15 minutes of cardio is warm up. From 15 minutes to 30 minutes, you're losing water. You're just getting to that point where your body's heating up, where you're just starting to spill that water out. From 30 minutes to 45 minutes, that's fat burning mode. You're starting to burn fat. You're getting your body into that point where it's a thermos, it's firing up, and you're burning the fat. 45 to 60 minutes, that's the maximum limits of maximum fat burning before you start to get tired, you burn yourself out, and you start to break down into the negative fields. A lot of you girls like to do an hour and a half, and that's not necessary. Do it correctly. 60 minutes cardio, you're good to go. Okay, folks, again, another episode, King's World. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was informative. Again, another one of my crazy stories. I got a lot more coming. Send your questions, your comments, everything, obviously here on YouTube and my Instagram. And for a lot of you guys out there who like to make comments of why don't you post this and why don't you do this and why don't you look at you? Okay, if you have any fantasies or any regards to what I look like right now, or what my lifestyle is, or what kind of training I do in the gym, my video clips from the gym, all you gotta do is follow my Instagram. Go to my Instagram page. You see all my clients' daily pictures, all their before and afters, and I post a lot of my daily activities and my travels and my King Buddha stuff and my gym activities. It's all there. I don't hide anything. Okay? Again, love you guys. Generation Iron, the best. Until next time, peace, bitches.